This week on ANN, the Adventist humanitarian agency on the Romanian-Ukrainian border receives shipment of medical supplies from Norway. Adventist churches in Kyiv become a shelter for migrants and refugees.
These stories and more coming up.
Thank you so much for joining us this week.
We start this week's edition on the border of Romania and Ukraine, where ADRA, the Humanitarian Adventist Relief and Development Agency, has a warehouse for receiving and distributing aid to the Ukrainian people.
We're here at the ADRA warehouse, which is on the border here in Romania, right on the border with Ukraine. Today we have another shipment arriving. This truck has come all the way from Norway. It's full of high-value medical supplies. We're offloading it right now. It will be put into smaller trucks and taken across the border into Ukraine, where it is really desperately needed at this time. It's exciting to see that we've also got the local fire department have sent volunteers to help us offload this truck quickly and move the supplies into Ukraine. So over the last 18 days, we've had more than 130 tons of humanitarian supplies come through this warehouse and into Ukraine. So it's critical that we move these supplies quickly through here into smaller trucks and across the border. It's amazing. Europe has opened its heart. Our truck driver here that we've just met from Norway, he's so excited to be part of this humanitarian mission. The warehouse manager, he's opened his warehouse for us free of charge to use this for the next few months. Everybody's pitching in in a voluntary way to make this as quick and as efficient as possible. Right now we need more medical supplies, we need non-food items, we need food items, and warm blankets and other life-saving equipment that's really needed in Ukraine at this time. We see no end to the need at the moment. We're monitoring the border. We have reception centres at the border. The supplies that we have there are dwindling. So the more that we can get through here and to keep replenishing food and non-food items at our border crossings, it's really essential. We'll keep using these facilities here, not only to on-ship the supplies in smaller trucks, but also to sort the donations that we're getting from people who are willing to donate even freshly made jam and preserves and other things that we're seeing here. People are dropping off stuff, we're repacking it, putting it on pallets and shipping it into Ukraine.
I was really excited for this trip because I have two children in home, 5 and 10 years old, one girl and one boy, and I see the news of people how they have it in Ukraine. Kids came over the border and have nothing. So when my work asked me if I can drive, I say yes in 1 second. The trip was 3,078 kilometers from Stavanger, Norway to here. For me, it's good to do something for people, and I will probably remember this the rest of my life, that I have a drive so long trip, and I'm really happy to help.
According to the United Nations, millions of people, mainly women and children, have already fled Ukraine because of the conflict that began February 24th. Millions of people in eastern Ukraine are currently dependent on humanitarian aid. The current escalation has led to a mass migration towards the neighboring countries of Poland, Slovakia, Romania, Hungary, and Moldova. Producer and documentary filmmaker for Hope Media Europe, ADRA, and his team received a request from Hope Channel International to produce a miniseries focusing on stories of people leaving Ukraine. This series is now part of the global Hope Channel and ADRA campaign called Hope for Ukraine.
первого дня мы уже слышали выстрелы. Я тогда был утро, где-то в 5 часов, 5:30. Я слышал взрывы. Я сначала подумал, что что-то, какая-то газовая труба взорвалась, а там, получается, уже начали стрелять, взрываться. Там бомбы. С первого дня, это с 24 февраля. 24 февраля с 5:30 я уже слышал взрывы. Начали бомбить, было какой-то ажиотаж был, все люди не понимали, что взрывается. Но потом уже как бы все догнали то, что началась война. И все начали бежать. Сначала все начали воду, у нас как бы водой запасаться в магазины. Там была очень большая очередь тоже с первых дней. И сейчас там очень сложно людям, там постоянно бомбят. Постоянно слышны взрывы. Там от Харькова уже почти ничего не осталось. Там центр полностью разбомблен. Мы просто хотели оттуда уехать. Там настоящая война идет. Там сколько людей в день погибает. Это очень страшно. Мы все надеемся, что быстрее наступил мир, чтобы главное, чтобы люди не погибали, мирные жители. Все хотят мира, все хотят спокойствия. Я тоже хочу этого. Я хочу доучиться, я хочу стать врачом в будущем. Я надеюсь, что все получится. Что война прекратилась, и я как бы смог вернуться туда и продолжить обучение.
We continue with more hopeful information from Ukraine. In Kiev, volunteers for the Hope for Ukraine project organized a shelter in one of the capital's Seventh-day Adventist churches.
The shelter is located in 2 underground rooms of the church. Mattresses were purchased and the beds were arranged directly on the chairs. Some 50 people take refuge in this church every day.
From Kiev to Poltava, a city located about 220 miles east of the Ukrainian capital, Poltava is a city that hasn't been reached by Russian troops yet, so there's a possibility to provide effective protection and assistance to migrants.
Every day, volunteers of the Hope for Ukraine project prepare food and take it to train and bus stations in Poltova so that people there may have warm lunch and hot tea. Volunteers also visit the most vulnerable people, the elderly, the lonely, and migrants, and help them with specific health needs.